students, we are dealing with the first chapter of the 11th science physics, that is the units and measurement, in which we are studying the dimensional analysis. Okay, we have already seen dimensions of any physical quantity can be expressed in terms of the 7 fundamental quantities, namely length is there, mass, time, then electric current, temperature, symbol of the temperature is K or theta, then intensity and the amount of substance. Okay, dimension of any physical quantity is expressed by using these 7 symbols. We have to express the powers of these 7 symbols. Now there are certain applications, certain uses of the dimensional analysis, in which first use or first application we have to see, that is to check the correctness of the physical equation. By using dimensional analysis, we check whether the given physical equation is correct or not. Let's see the example. We know the kinematical equations. There are 3 kinematical equations. We have already seen that equations. Let's see first equation. V is equal to U plus AT. Okay, where V is the final velocity of the particle, U is the initial velocity of the particle, A is the acceleration, and T is the time. Okay, here we have to check whether this kinematical equation correct or not. By using dimensional analysis, we can check that. Now let's write the dimensions of each physical quantity. Okay, first term is V. V is the final velocity. Let's write the dimension of velocity. L to the power 1, m to the power 0, and t to the power minus 1. Okay, this is the dimension of final velocity. After that, write the dimension of u. Dimensions of u is also velocity, so its dimension becomes same, that is L1, m0, and t minus 1. Okay, now there are 2 terms, acceleration and time. Write the dimension of both the terms separately, in which first one is acceleration. Dimensions of acceleration are L to the power 1, m to the power 0, and t to the power minus 2. Okay, and the last term is time. Dimensions of time are L to the power 0, m to the power 0, and t to the power 1. Okay, here we have total 4 terms in the given physical equation. Let's denote the equation number 1. There are 4 terms, V, U, A, and T. We have written dimension of each term. Now let's write all these dimensions into the equation number 1. Okay, first term is the V. Instead of V, write the dimensions of V that we have already written here. Okay, so our equation 1 becomes, equation 1 can be written as V becomes L to the power 1, m to the power 0, t to the power minus 1. Then is equal to U is there. So dimensions of U, L to the power 1, m to the power 0, t to the power minus 1. After that, plus, and then dimensions of acceleration and time. L to the power 1, m to the power 0, t to the power minus 2, and dimension of time, L to the power 0, m to the power 0, t to the power 1. Okay, here we have written dimensions of each term of the equation number 1. Let's solve this. Our LHS becomes as it is, that is L1, m0, t minus 1 is equal to this middle term, which is also becomes as it is, there is no change, L1, m0, t minus 1 plus. Now here we can multiply these two terms. After multiplication, we will get here n to the power 1, here n to the power is 0. So it becomes 1 plus 0, that is 1. And there are 0 power of the mass, so it becomes 0. And t to the power. In the acceleration, power of the t is minus 2, and in the time, power of t is 1. So minus 2 plus 1, it becomes minus 1. So let's see here. Now we have 3 terms here. First, on LHS and on RHS, there are 2 terms. If you compare all the terms, then we get the same dimensions. Let's see, dimension of this term, dimension of this term, and dimension of this term. Here, dimension of each term remains same. So our given physical equation is correct, dimensionally correct. Correct? Clear this? If dimension of any term gets changed here, then we can say given physical equation is dimensionally not correct. Clear now? Similarly, we can check any equation, any physical equation, whether it is correct or not by using the dimensional analysis. Let's check for the second kinematical equation. The second kinematical equation is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Okay. There is also third kinematical equation. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Okay, we can take any equation. We can check this equation is dimensionally correct or not. So let's follow the same steps here. Let's write the dimension of v square, then dimension of u square, then dimension of acceleration, and yes is the displacement here. Okay, if we write the dimensions of v square, then we get L1 m0 t minus 1 square is there is equal to dimensions of u L1 m0 t minus 1. There is also u square, so we can write here power 2 plus 2 times 2. Here 2 is the numerical constant. If there are any constant terms, then dimensional analysis fails to give the dimensions of constant term. Clear this? Dimensional analysis is fails to write the dimensions of constant term. This is the drawback of dimensional analysis. Okay. So this constant term 2 remains as it is. Now write the dimensions of acceleration here. L1 m0 t minus 1, and finally dimensions of the s. S means the displacement. L1 m0 t0. Clear? Now let's do the square on LHS. It becomes here a to the power 1 and its square, so it becomes 2. After that, m to the power 0, its square, it remains 0, and t to the power, actually power is minus 1 is there, and if we apply the square, then it becomes minus 2. Okay, this dimension of this term becomes same as we have written here, that is L2 m0 t minus 2 plus 2 also remains as it is. There is no change in 2 because it is constant term, and after multiplication, acceleration and displacement, we get L2 m0 sorry, I have written the wrong dimension here. Acceleration, dimensions of acceleration are L1 m0 and t minus 2, not t minus 1, because minus 1 are the dimension for the velocity. Okay, so it becomes minus 2. Okay, here power of t is minus 2 and here power of t is 0, so minus 2 and 0, it becomes minus 2. Now let's compare the dimension of each term. This is our first term, this is the second term, and this is the third term. If you compare all the terms, then dimension of each term is same. Hence, given physical equation is dimensionally correct. Okay, we can write here as the dimensions of each term remain same. Hence, the given physical equation is dimensionally correct. Also, there is another application, another use of the dimensional analysis, that is to establish the relationship between related physical quantities. Okay, how is it seen? Let's see. Suppose force is given by mass into acceleration. We know that force is given by product of mass and acceleration. So formula of the force consists of three terms: force, mass, and acceleration is there. And we know this equation very well, that force is equal to the product of mass and acceleration. Similarly, let's see another example. Density. Density is given by mass upon volume. That means formula of the density consists of rho, mass, and volume is there. Correct? Suppose some variables are given to you, like F, force, P, pressure, and A, it is the surface area. Now you have given three variables: force, pressure, and area. Here, this pressure P depends on force and area. This pressure P depends on force and area. In the first example, in the first two examples, force depends on mass and acceleration. In second example, this density depends on mass and velocity. Similarly, in the next example, pressure depends on force and area. So there are number of possibilities. We can write pressure is equal to force into area. This is the first possibility. We can write pressure is equal to force upon area. This is also another possibility. We also can write pressure is equal to F square A, force square A. Another equation we can write pressure is equal to F into A square, or maybe cube is there, maybe root is there, square root, cube root, okay, division, multiplication, anything, any physical equation is maybe there. If we don't know the actual relation, between force, pressure and area, then by dimensional analysis we can find the relation between force, pressure and area. Okay, we must know the whatever physical quantities are there in that formula. Then we can establish the relationship between them. Okay, now let's see the second application of the dimensional analysis, that is to establish the relationship between related physical quantities. Okay, we have taken an example here. The centripetal force F, is depends on which quantities? Mass of the particle, then velocity of the particle, and radius of the circular orbit. Mass m, velocity v, and radius r. Okay, if any body performing circular motion, any body revolving in circular path, then that body is possesses, or that circular motion is due to the centripetal force, and that centripetal force depends on mass, velocity and radius of the circular orbit. So what is the actual relation between force, mass, velocity and radius? Is there multiplication, division, power, root? What is actually there? We can find that by using the dimensional analysis. So let's see. Force depends on mass, velocity and radius. Let's assume the relation between them suppose F is equal to m raised to x, v raised to y, and r raised to z is there. Let's consider the equation. Let's consider there is mass, velocity and radius are multiplied to each other, and let's write the power of mass is x, power of velocity is y, and power of radius is z. We have assumed this equation. We have assumed this physical equation between these two four terms. Okay, maybe this relation is present there. This relation is between them. We have just assumed. We don't know the actual relation between them. Now let's write the dimensions of each term. Let's write the dimensions of each term. First one, force is there. Dimensions of force are L1, M1 and T minus 2. Then mass, dimensions of mass is equal to L0, M1 and T0. Next is velocity is there. Dimensions of velocity, V is equal to L1, M0 and T minus 1, and the last term is radius. So which is the symbol? Which is the symbol for the radius? Radius is nothing but the length, is nothing but the distance. So we can take L. Power of length is 1, power of mass is 0, and power of time is 0. Let's write all the dimensions in equation number 1. So our equation 1 becomes force means L1, M1, T minus 2 is equal to mass is there L0, M1, T0, and power of the mass is x. So let's write the x power of the bracket. Now V, L1, M0, T minus 1, and power of the V is y. So let's write the power y, and the final term is radius, that is L1, M0, T0, and its power is z. Okay. Now LHS remains as it is. Let's solve this right side. Is equal to, let's multiply by x into the bracket. So power of L remains 0, power of mass is x, and power of time is also remains 0. Then second term Ly, M0, T minus y, and in last term Lz, M0, T0. Okay, we have multiplied by these powers into the bracket. Now here we can take the power of L, also power of M, and power of T. So it becomes L to the power 0 here. In second term power y is there, so 0 plus y, and in last term power z is there, y plus 0 plus y plus z. Now powers of mass. In first term x is there, in second term 0 is there, in third term 0 is there. So it becomes x plus 0, and finally t. Here 0, here minus y, and here again 0. So it becomes 0 minus y plus 0. Clear? Our LHS is as it is L1, M1, T minus 2. Now we have only two terms. First one is on LHS and second one is on RHS. Okay. So if we compare the powers of length on both sides, powers of mass on both sides, and powers of T on both sides, then on comparing powers of L, M and T on both sides of equation, so we get, okay, let's compare powers on both sides. Then we get on LHS power of L is 1 is equal to, on RHS power is 0 plus Y plus Z, okay. This is the first equation we get. This is the first equation we get for the power of length. Now let's compare power of M. On LHS 1 is there, on RHS X plus 0 plus 0, so it becomes only X. Clear? That means we have X is equal to 1. We have X is equal to 1. Now finally compare the powers of T. On LHS power of T is minus 2 is equal to, on RHS power of T is minus Y. Okay, minus 2 is equal to minus Y. Hence Y becomes, therefore Y is equal to plus 2 is there. In this way we get the values of X and Y. Let's substitute Y into equation number 2. If we substitute Y in equation 2, then we get Z is equal to, yes, what we will get here, equation 2 becomes 1 is equal to, Y means 2 plus Z. So here we get the Z is equal to, therefore Z is equal to minus 1. Okay, in this way we get the values of X, Y and Z. Now finally let's write all the values in equation number 1. Equation 1 again can be written as, left side is the force is equal to M and power of M is X. X is nothing but our 1. M to the power 1, then into V to the power Y. Y means 2. Then into R is there and power of R is Z. Z means what? Minus 1. Okay, let's arrange this. F is equal to M V square upon R. So this is the exact relation between force, mass, velocity and radius. This is the centripetal force which is given by mv square upon r. In this way we have established the relationship between related physical quantity. Here force, mass, velocity and radius are related physical quantity. We just knew the related physical quantity, but we don't know. If we don't know the relation between them, then by a dimensional analysis we can find out the relation between related physical quantities. Okay, in this way we can find the relation between any physical equation, relation between any physical quantity, and we can derive such physical equations. So if you have any doubt related to dimensional analysis, then just comment me in the comment box. I will definitely answer that. Thank you.